Alright, so it's time for me to make an update to my top 10 TURs tier list. I forgot to bring them up, but the reason why I want to make an update is because this dude. So God of Destruction Toppo finally got a Dokkan Festival character, and he does deserve to be in the top 10 TURs based on my usage. I used him a little bit in difficult content, I did Beast Gohan and Gogeta Blue videos. I did take him into the Cell Max event off camera. Funny enough, I don't really do too many showcase videos anymore, I guess, in a sense, right? But I like doing these videos like this instead. But I did show off Toppo in some of the difficult content. Now, a lot of my usage for this guy is at 55%, but I did use him a little bit as a Rainbow Friends. And I saw like different gameplay for him and stuff like that. So I think I have a pretty good feel at how God Toppo does handle the most difficult stages in the game, both at Free Dupe and Rainbow. But overall, his kit, just getting a feel for his skin, how he's gonna work. And I will say I like him. I think that there's been some hate towards God Toppo on like social media, like Twitter, but I want to say, for the most part, Toppo does seem to be a pretty good unit to me. I did enjoy using him. So we're going to go ahead and start from the bottom. Put the star right there by accident, but we're going to start here from the bottom, and then we're going to go all the way to the top. Now, I do want to explain, Rosé is not considered for this list because he's a global, right? But I do think that he would more than likely make the list, is what I'm thinking. But I haven't used him yet, so I can't really say for sure, right? Well, I think I used him once, right? But I want to wait until I can use him to put him officially on the list. Because the issue with this is, if Rosé, because y'all, I'm thinking Rosé comes out in August, so like or end of July, right? If that's the case, right? We have 2 Dokkanfests here. Like, I feel like I would probably put him like from 7 to 10 range, to be honest. The issue is, we get 2 Dokkanfests at the end of April for Golden Week, right? So those 2 Dokkanfests are likely going to be strong. We'll get a Dokkan Festival at the start of June, right? So that's 3 Dokkanfests. Then that's it for TURs really until this August time slot where Rosé, I expect him to be. So, like, will he be on the tier list? I don't know. Will he be at 10 on the tier list when he comes out? I don't know. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there, is what I want to say. So we're going to start for our number 10 spot officially, the Int Tournament of Power Androids. Again, they are a character I use. Oh yeah, by the way, I asked y'all on Twitter what you thought, how good you think God Toppo is, and we'll take a look at some of these replies once we get to God Toppo specifically. But for now, we'll just keep going here. Int Androids fit in spot pretty decently. Again, very good character. I'm sure we all know the buffs that they got during the 9th anniversary at this point, but them supporting the tournament participants category by basically over 50% stats is really good. With 2 key right there, they're a Rainbow Orb Changer. They do need to get these 7 key spheres for them to really get that massive support, but I have not found that too difficult. Needing a tournament participant's Goku, which is representing over 7 Goku for the most part, such as S-Tier UI Goku, Ejo UI Goku, Int Blue Evolution Goku and Vegeta, etc, etc. These guys are a pretty good floater, right, with their 35% reduction on super. In the past, like in global right now even, they struggle because AoEs, but now AoEs aren't nearly as prevalent anymore, so I think that these guys have a good spot. I think though, for like the hardest fights in the game, like Cell Max, Beast Gohan, and then Blue Gogeta, these guys can struggle though, right? Which is the thing I definitely want to consider, which is why they're probably not really high on the list, because they'll either they likely just straight up get one shot, right, for if they gave with a super, but Beast Gohan could lock him to slot 1, he's physical, right, and then it's like, oh, they're dead. Cell Max just hits so hard. It hits for 1 mil. Could they live a 1 mil super from Cell Max? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, maybe in a certain rotation, because 35% reduction is a good bit, right? That'll make that go down to 750k, right? No, that'll make that go down to 650k damage. If I'm not mistaken, that's how well, He's extreme class, he's gonna hit harder. So probably still close to like 800k to 900k damage range, like give or take. But I don't know. So, someone in the comments, let me know. Could they tank a Cellmax Super? Or I don't think they would tank it, but they would be able to live. I think they could, because they can get to like 700k range plus defense, right? And his super attack hits for one. Wait, no, his normal hit for 1 mil. Wait, yeah, that might be stupid. Wait, how hard does Cellmax hit? He's for 2. No, he's one shots. This is normal. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's crazy. It's his normal to hit for 1 mil. I don't know why I was thinking his super hits for 1 mil, but no, his super hits for like 2 mil, right? Yeah, 2.5. Yeah, no, they're dead. It's his normals that they might not take even. I think they can tank the normals. I was in my head. I'm like, wait, why could they tank the super? I'm kind of going crazy, but now it's because the super hits for 2.5. Yeah, no, they're dead. So, yeah, they have a nice leader skill though. Turner, Participant, Siblings, Spawn gets a lot of good characters on there for sure. Like you could throw Beast Gohan in the Turner Participants team. This team is basically just superheroes for the most part. Like the characters are gonna run off the 9th anniversary characters, right? Which, you know, that's just how the game is. The 9th anniversary characters, you know, if you work good with them, then you're cooking, right? I think that's the one thing to consider. If you work good with the 9th, I'm trying to, okay, whatever. If you work good with the 9th anniversary characters, then you're cooking. And these guys are a very big, like, beefy stat buffer for them. I think I spent too much time with these guys, honestly, though. So we'll just move on next. Next, we have the Tech Super Trunks. Yeah. Do I put him above androids? Yeah, I think so. I hate this guy so much. I can't wait till I push him off again, but I have to admit, I think that he works pretty decently in these fights. The only fight I don't really like him in is the Blue Gogeta fight and Cellmax. But I think he works pretty well in Sword of Hope. I think he works pretty well in the Beast Gohan stage. You know, and other stages like UI Goku, I think he works pretty well in. Blue Evolution maybe, Beerus maybe, you know, but this guy, again, I think the Ghost Usher is pretty good. And there's a lot of extra like healing characters like STR Super Vegeta, Physical Blue Gogeta, like I run on all these teams, such as the Power Band Super Saiyan, that Blue Gogeta's on there. And then I think you could throw STR Vegeta on this team, right? Well, actually no, because Blue Goku and Vegeta, like they don't actually lead STR Vegeta, right? But like Transformation Boost is another team where you could use that Blue Gogeta, etc., etc. So it's like there's a couple of teams. Vegeta's Super Saiyan's team, you could run STR Vegeta, Gogeta, right? And then that's where you're gonna really be using this guy. And sure, he gets babied a little, but luckily with these longer fights, he's able to kind of like skate through a little, especially if he's guarding, right? Not that he's gonna be anything spectacular, but you know, there are more AGL bosses, like, or at least AGL phases in these fights, which really help this guy out a lot, such as Beast Gohan's fight. That second phase being AGL was super helpful for him. And yeah, once you're able to get the Ghost Usher, it's like you don't take damage. And like Beast Gohan, like if you get this form in Beast Gohan, you could use the active skill, right? As long as you're above that 60% HP, which I don't really find too difficult, staying above 60% HP by the last phase. It's that last phase against Beast Gohan that's really difficult, but use the Ghost Usher, you do like health bar and half of damage, then he does 3 supers and does like 3 more health bars of damage, and it's like, oh wow, dang, that's crazy, right? He just does so much damage, right? And because he's guaranteed critting, he's just really pushing through that Beast Gohan limit, where you can't do damage if you do under 3 million damage to him, right? It turns to 0 damage, right? So he really pushes past that little limit there, and that makes you move quickly through that final phase, which is good, because that just means less opportunities for him to lock you and then stun you in slot 1, and then, like, you know, whittle you down, right? That's the thing with the Beast Gohan fight. This guy does not have to worry about that, because he has the Ghost Usher and everything, so that's cool. All right, next we have AGO21, and I actually will put the next character there because this is a change from my previous tier list. I put Frieza here. No unit really came out that helped Frieza. I think I want to be a little more lenient to Frieza though, because I honestly, Frieza in terms of his power should be like up here range, right? For sure. But because of Frieza's restriction, I had him below 21 previously. And while I do really like 21 still, I feel like, you know, her team, the more I move on from it, like post 9th anniversary, the more I'm like, it's not like that fantastic of a team. Like, we do have one 9th anniversary character here, which is the like, if you take a look here, none of the androids. Actually, we have two. Yeah, we do have two. We have the LR Gammas. Where are they at? Yeah, they're right here. LR Gammas. And then we also have, again, EZA Physical Boo Text. But that's really it. There's no other 9th anniversary character here. Yeah, Brienne, right, which is good as well. So, I mean, this is a pretty decent team still. I don't know. I was like, but I feel like, you know, I think, thinking about it really, I feel like I should have Frieza above her. Just because he's so good. Frieza is actually just really, really good. Very powerful, especially just offensively. He just goes crazy. It's great for Cell Max. I think he's great for the Blue Gogeta fight even. Actually, I do like this guy in the Blue Gogeta fight quite a bit. I like him in Beast Gohan. He works pretty well in as well. You know, this Frieza is nice. I think he's a good character. The disable action is super useful. Like, I really, really like characters having disable action. 21 has the same thing where she has the disable action on her active skill, but, you know, that's turn 7 and this is turn 5. It's a little different, right? Not that, you know, fights don't last till turn 7, but I feel like in Beast Gohan and Sword of Hope Trunks, you can get to turn 5 as the final phase. Especially with Frieza, right? And then you have this active just instantly right there. Again, Frieza's issue is his team. But, like, I would say 21's team is better. It's hard. It's difficult. I think I will put Frieza above her, even though I think 21 is in a slightly better spot right now. I think Frieza is just a little too powerful. Now, 21 has a lot of tech with her, and do not underestimate 21 as well. But I think I decided I will move Frieza up. Let me know what you guys think, though. If you think I should move Frieza back down next to your list, even if you think I should change my mind back, like, oh, no, don't do that, right? But we'll see. I mean, again, like, if we take a look at, like, Terrifying Conquerors and Space Traveling Warriors, unfortunately, the new Transforming Super Saiyan Vegeta does not fit there. I mean, I guess we got King Vegeta, but, like, you know, it's not really a buff to that team, you know? It doesn't really do anything. Obviously, Space Traveling Warriors, I think, could get some pretty huge stuff in the near future, so that's good. Funny enough, Toppo does count for this here, which is really funny. So Toppo could activate his intro animation, but not his defense and crit chance here, which, to be honest, if you're missing like 1 or 2 units of this, it's not like the end of the world, but, you know, it will hurt a little. But that is those 2 spots. Next we have God Goku. There's so much discussion on God Goku. We know how good God Goku is. We know where he is, etc., etc. Stacking, 60% dodge, guard. He's good. Great link set, lots of teams. Orb restriction could be a little interesting, especially in like that Super Saiyan Vegeta team. You can't even get this. But there are a lot of Rainbow Orb changes around, so he's good. This guy's good. I don't want to spend like too much time talking about characters that we already know how good they are compared to like compared to like Frieza and almost said 18, but 21, who like already talked about. Like, what? It was more like a change here. That's why I really wanted to talk about them. But God Goku, it's like, we know how good he is. I do want to explain Gamma 1, though, a little bit. Again, if you're like, why is Gamma 1 here? What are you on? Are you insane? Right? You may be on global. That's fair. We got the LR Gammas, which is a perfect linking partner for this guy. Gives him, like, all his links, which is really great. We got special skill orbs for this guy. So, he gets, like, an extra 1800 defense or something. 1900 defense. So that's a lot of stats. And then he is supporting still. Then he has a 70% chance to counter unarmed supers, which, guess what? Beast Gohan is. So this guy's like one of the best slot 1 characters for Beast Gohan. And, you know, the 50% reduction ages pretty well. 50% reduction, that's a lot, dude. Like, yeah, 50% reduction against these bosses that are hitting for 2-3 mil. Like, you cutting that damage in half is crazy. It's so good. And this guy still consistently reaches over mil defense range, right? He ages so well. He just aged so unbelievably well, this Gamma 1. And again, he's one of the best partners for the LR Gammas, which are like a top 10 range unit in the game. Maybe even top I want to say top 5, but top 10 range easily in the game, the LR Gammas. So this guy being like their best partner is super good, super good. So I like him a lot. Post 9th anniversary, he shot up a lot in this turn list, right? And I think he would be a more consistent option than God Goku even. So that tells you, right? We have Rudgard next on global, so I guess maybe we could talk about him a little. Am I missing a character? I am missing a spot here. Am I? I am missing a spot. Wait, am I insane? Who did I miss? Wait. Okay, I figured out the issue. I forgot to put Gamma 1 here. I was so confused. I went to look up back on my old tier list, which, was similar, right? But, I'm like, who am I missing? But I forgot to put the Gamma 1 icon. That's why I'm so dumb. Rudgard's good. Very, very good character. Defense stacker right here. Gets pretty decent stats here, even in base form. 110% defense up. Now, tanking supers, probably not going to do that in base form, right? But again, he has the 70% dodge chance there, which is super nice. He could triple super as well if he's in slot 1 with the dodge and everything. So I think he's looking pretty good. He even has built-in crit chance, which I do like quite a bit. I think it's a fairly easy transformation condition to get. Leader skill's not the best though, I would say. Then transforming Rudgard could be just so absurdly broken. It's kind of crazy. Once he gets the 3 dodges in the turn, the next turn he guaranteed dodges, which is such a powerful mechanic. Now again, that has to reset, so it's not like you can't loop that together, but it's still a really great mechanic. He does get even a separate 10% chance to dodge and crit here with each dodge he does. He does have 2 additional supers essentially right here, and then he has a high chance to crit Villain as the first attacker in the turn. So I could very easily see this guy triple super, do multiple 15 mil range attack stats with the crit chances built in. Greatly raising the attack, invincible, amazing, supreme, great unit. I really like Rudgard. Again, RNG chance dodging, people don't really like that, but I like Rudgard. I think that him having that 70% chance is pretty cool, and getting the ability to get the guaranteed dodge is just really great. So I'm a fan of this Rudgard character personally. Next we have Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I would say the space form is not as good as Rudgard, but I think the stand vesicle is what makes him put him above Rudgard. I think people underrate how good having that scouter and then guaranteed counter is. That alone is super powerful, right? And you could very easily get that in the final phases of these fights. But he's also supporting. Then after that, he has guaranteed dodge, right? There is the off chance that this guy gets hit before he gets supered and then dies, right? But he has a 70% chance dodge here. Then if you're under 59% HP, he gets another 20%. So it's very unlikely that he dies, I think, before the finished skills goes off. Not that it can't happen, but it's very unlikely. And then taking 0 damage from a super and countering back, and that with the crit is just so good. It's different. It's such a powerful comeback mechanic, right? I think for your characters, and he even has a good leader skill. I think movie hero spine or trump card. A lot of 9th anniversary characters on there, pretty good. So I'm a fan of the Dragon Fist Goku. I think more than most people are. The more I use him, the more I warm up to him. I think he's quite strong as well. So I would say, yeah, that's that. And then we have Toppo too. So here's where we could actually talk about Toppo, I guess, right? Now Toppo 2, right? And then we'll push Vegeta as a 1. Toppo's not going to be as good as Vegeta, and I think the reason for that is Vegeta. So I think the difference between Toppo and Vegeta is, I think Vegeta's base form is stronger. Honestly, I feel like turn 1 is Toppo stronger than Vegeta's base form. In slot 1, I feel like he is, because Vegeta gets a beefier defense stat, but Toppo has the 31% reduction plus all that, and I don't think his defense is as high as Vegeta's turn 1 maybe, but Toppo with that reduction on top of it, I think is what clears ahead. But I think Super Saiyan Vegeta being so easy to get out, and then you have all that stacked defense from there, is better than God Toppo. I like Super Vegeta quite a lot. Super Saiyan Vegeta specifically, guys, right here. And another thing about this guy is he has this nullification, which I think is pretty good. I think he will do more damage. I think he's going to be tankier overall, because God Toppo does eventually lose some of this reduction, especially if you do find yourself in a situation where you're kind of forced to transform for some reason. While this Vegeta, you're not really forced to transform, I think, in any situation, right? Or even forced to keep him in slot 1, because he's just guarding. No matter where he's at, he's just always going to be guarding. I mean, he has 18% reduction as well. Keep that in mind. Which is still pretty good, even in his base form. I don't know. His base form might be better than Toppo's. Maybe. I think post super attack turn 1, I would say probably so, especially. But this guy will do more damage, like I said. What was my other point I was gonna say? I started focusing on the reduction. But yeah, so he's always gonna be guarding with the 18% reduction, but with the stack defense. And I think his defense stat just gets a lot higher. Always a multiplicative 180%, plus the stacks that he has, like I said here, is just going to give him a much tankier experience than what God Toppo is going to do. I think God Toppo, I'm really annoyed at the in-orb changing as well. I think that's dumb. But I think that there's good things about God Toppo. I think he's very tanky, right? You know, you can even put him at second or third slot, and then he's able to eat like a Selmax super attack turn 1, which is why I'm like, you know, I don't think Vegeta will eat a slot 1, like a turn 1 Selmax super attack as Toppo would in like slot 2 or 3. Slot 1 Toppo probably would take a lot more damage a hit, maybe, especially if it's the first attack. But after he super attacks, slot 1 Toppo probably would eat that a lot better. But this right here, being able to do that, I think that multiplicative stats is pretty good. And I do like doing that sometimes. Like, you could float God Toppo around, get the Toppos together as a rotation, and that works pretty well. I think another thing, Toppo, right? You know, Toppo links. Vegeta links, right? That's the difference there. And the more I use them, you know, I feel like because of God Toppo compared to like Super Saiyan Vegeta, and I think Vegeta having all these additional supers and everything, he would end up doing more damage. Toppo support is nice, but it's very niche as well. I feel like this being after he receives the attack as well, not really a fan of that either. Should be win. I've had situations where Toppo gets supered instantly, and then he eats like 550k, when then he could have probably eaten like even closer to like 350k if he got this 50% pure defense. That would add like an extra 200k plus defense to this guy. Like that's a lot. That's a lot actually, how much defense this would add to him. But yeah, that doesn't happen. So I feel like if I was gonna do a tier list, I'd probably do this, like an actual tier list, like this. I think I like Toppo closer to these two than Vegeta. I think Vegeta is still on a tier of his own, just using him in difficult content. God Toppo though, again, that first turn you get him off, like he could, like I've had a situation where 55% God Toppo transformed against Blue Gogeta, ate a super for 14k before he even attacked, right? And he does get a small defense raise here. God Toppo also has guaranteed crits for the rest of the battle on his active, which is so good. Even at 55%, that's so powerful. And then you're able to build this guy with dodge though, which, you know, is useful, because if you build this guy full dodge, he will not take as many attacks, and this damage reduction will go down lower and lower, which, you know, in a sense, it makes him, I think, somewhat, I wouldn't say he's necessarily dupe dependent, but compared to, like, I think this Vegeta, compared to even Super Saiyan 3 at Rudgard, I think Toppo, like, would be, I would consider the more dupe dependent unit out of them all, because he really wants, I think, a full dodge build, especially for God Toppo. Full dodge build is crazy for this guy, and I think, you know, you could also potentially avoid supers in this situation, right? But that's my opinion. What I would say is I do like his transformation condition. Very easy to get off, very simple. I just wish this was not in Key Spheres, because it really messes with the LR Gammas, who is like one of this guy's best friends actually. Then he directly hurts them. So I think this was a very dumb oversight by Dokkan as well. But again, Dragon a lot of bats for him, but there's a lot of good to him. Does pretty good. Honestly, does damage when he's transformed is pretty decent as well. Just no additional supers, but he's doing like a flat like 20 mil plus attack set sometimes, like with guaranteed crit. That's good for like a very defensive tanking character like that. That's good, right? So yeah, base Toppo doesn't really do that much damage though, unless if he's in slot 2 or 3, he could do like 16 17 mil. I've seen him do like Rainbow Friend Toppo, so that's cool. But yeah, that's only in the 3 turns with a guard, keep that in mind. But okay, let's take a look here at this post. I want to see what y'all are thinking about God Toppo specifically. Just read a few of the replies. Tied with Vegeta. Wasn't familiar with the game, you're unfun to play. Yeah, I guess that's fair, right? A lot of people do not like Toppo as a defensive character because he's really only mega defense, which I like that. But you know, if you're a person who prefers like, oh, you know, Frieza, all these additional super attacks, doing everything like that, or you know, even like Super Saiyan Vegeta, right, doing all these additional supers, like additional supers offense, or it's more fun arguably than this tanking defensively. But yeah, pretty good. Number 2, his intro is your favorite. Yeah, the OST for his intro is really good. Private server user a day, giggles. Yeah, okay. Like Super Saiyan 3 Goku more, but just like Toppo more than Rudgard. Yeah, again, I think this tier is what I would do for Toppo, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and Rudgard. Like this is just the numbered tier. In the future, I'm considering not doing top 10s and doing like an actual tier list, but to be honest, without top 10s, probably will get more clicks. So, you know, that's why I do it in this format. I actually prefer the other format, but that's how it's been popularized in the Dokkan community. So I'm going to keep doing it like this, right? In terms of videos. Though I guess, you know, I guess we could do this real quick, right? You know, this is going to kind of look goofy. This is difficult. I haven't put any thought into this, like this, but I'll probably do like this. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, so something like this is what I would do. I think if I was gonna do an actual like tier list, more or less. Yeah, more. I think that around that is what I would say for now. If Frieza would be able to move up with these boys once he gets, I think, a team that I like for him. But right now, I really don't like Frieza's team, and I think that it won't lead him to succeed as well as could. That is because I thought got overhyped, but you would put him in a tier between Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Rudgard. Easily number 1 TUR. Performance, support, and taking abilities are amazing. You love Toppo, but you can only. But the only thing you could think that sucks about him is his teams. Again, I think there are a couple of issues with Toppo, which, you know, again, like the order changing, not necessarily like his fault or something that hurts him, but it hurts the allies. I think this is like after receiving the attack is stupid, especially after they introduce when receiving an attack. In fact, God of Destruction Toppo, he gets his defense when receiving an attack. So I don't know why base Toppo has to receive the attack. I think it's kind of dumb. And not really doing anything special damage wise until he transforms, which I do like a top slot 1 character, but I don't see why this guy maybe couldn't have gotten, like, especially with this interrupt, in my opinion, he should just guard instead of discard for 3 turns. Like, I think that what they're thinking of is you getting a Toppo rotation, maybe, where you float one of the Toppos off to get with the other one. But I think this should just be guard for the rest of battle. And then you can like have these Toppos, like imagine if you could have the Toppos floating and then they're supporting this team. Not that Special Pose and Ally of Justice is really anything good, but I think Toppo as a floater, then getting this, I probably might even like a little better than if he was kept on rotation. Then you could have Toppos floating. You could have a rotation of UI Goku and Evolution Vegeta, then like a Gamma's rotation even or something, and then Toppo floating around would cook actually, because there's so many like strong slot 1 characters on the team that you kind of like have to push around or float around. Like one of my comments are like, why were you floating around Blue Evolution Vegeta the whole video? He's the best character in the team. I'm like, well, you know, I was trying to showcase Toppo. And then another thing is Toppo has to be in slot 1, and I want Toppo to have good link partners for him to, if he has to be in the slot 1's position. But if he's in slot 3, he doesn't necessarily have to worry about that as much, because less often he's going to be eating the super attack, so I don't need as many links active, I think, with that guy, compared to if I needed him in slot 1. You know, trying to get the Toppo rotation, that I think could work really well, but it's a little weird, but I think he's good. So again, I don't think he's in the same class as Vegeta as we initially thought. Compared to other April 1st Dokkanfest, I think he's like, okay, so let's look in the past of April 1st Dokkanfest, and then we'll wrap it up from here. I think he's probably the best on release, because last year we got Kale. Kale was good, but relatively comparing the two, I think Toppo is better now, 9th anniversary, than Kale was like against Sin on release, because Kale didn't really have the Universe 6 characters. Let's see, who else? It was before that. Raditz? No. Before that was 2021, who was... It was not Goten and Trunks. Videl? Yeah, it was Videl. Videl probably was better on release than Toppo is now. But then not Hit, not Blue Kaioken, definitely not. So I guess it's between Toppo and Videl, but I think Videl on release is explosive. Yeah, so I would say Toppo is the second best on release, but whatever. Not a big deal, man. He's good for an April release, though, which is what I like at the very least. So let me know what you guys think. That's my tier list, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.